So Gaffer, 3-3 draw last night against Dorking. Is it a kind of a yin and yang in your head at the moment where you're frustrated that we're letting teams seem to have 2 goal advantages on us, but also pleased and proud that we're digging in that much that we're getting back into these games?
Yeah, I think I describe what you say, yin yang. I say it's sort of bittersweet, really. You know, you're happy when your boys have got that spirit that they're gonna, you know, we know they can get back into a game. But as I said yesterday after the game, that you know we've got to get ahead in the game, more ahead in the game, not just 1-0. You know, to then relax and play our stuff, and then still finish strong. That's what I want to happen, which is what happened against Aldershot. So yeah, it's the boys know that. It's you know, when people sometimes say to me, you know, if you've got into them at half time, why don't you get into them at the start of the game? Well, you can't get that angry at the start of the game, and you have to. Every team at this level has got a way of playing, and they're good at what they do. You know, if you look at the style of play of Dorking, they have a particular pattern. It's an expansive, open pattern, which means it's difficult to mark all of them because they have lots of players waiting for the transition and the break, and they play, you know, around the outsides, and they've done it well and they score goals. But because they're expensive, then you have to know how to get goals against them, which is obviously what we did. So I suppose both teams will say they've done their job, and you know, if you was a betting man, you'd have backed to 3-3 or 5-4 for one of us. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, yeah, disappointed really that the game didn't last a little bit longer, because I think we was, you know, we was in the ascendancy at that point.
2 lone players scoring the goals last night in Dylan De Silva and Mark Ellis. Is it pleasing to see that they've come in and with each game they're growing into your way and your system?
Yeah, I think the recent loans have been good with Lucas, Mark, Stephen Worm, Dylan. I think they've given us something that we didn't have. It certainly gives us a stronger squad, and now the squad's getting a little bit bigger and a little bit fitter, as far as the lads that have been injured and lads that are now coming onto the bench like Hanson, etc. You know, there's more competition now, and people will find if they have a dodgy game or 2 poor a game, then they'll find themselves not playing. And we've got some big games coming up, and they all want to play in that. Of course they do. So they know that it's, you know, I'll pick the best team that I think can win the game, the next game.
Games come thick and fast, and it's home to Chesterfield on Saturday. Team that's started well this season and is up there. Are you expecting? I mean, we've had quite not a bad record against Chesterfield recently, but are you expecting yet another hard game against a Paul Cook side? Yeah,
they're a good team. Good team. Obviously, a very experienced manager, and he'll probably be saying the same about us, hopefully. And it's a matter of who turns up on the day. You know, which players that he's got turn up, and which players that we've got that turn up. You need that little bit of luck, you know, in a game where, their first goal was a great strike yesterday, but it was a deflected strike that went in you know, that could easily go over the bar, or and so you do need that little bit of luck in games, but you need to be in it. You need to make sure that a team's not too far away if they happen to score the first goal. You know, we don't want to be 3-1 down again. So I thought the supporters were great against Dorking, because they, you know, it was a bit quiet at first because not a lot was happening, and then when it started happening, they sort of got behind us. And I can't express enough going into the Chesterfield game where it will be beneficial for the supporters to be that 12th man, which they are good at. You know, whether it's the noise, whether it's the the songs, whether it's the influencing things that go on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? All those sort of things, they can be a real big plus for us.